G'day guys, just a tip for the DPF and the DIF on the BT50 Ford Rangers. So you can see here, this is the actual DPF here, this is the pre-DPF. We've removed the sensors to send it away for cleaning. This car's really blocked. Now, this is all pretty straightforward. The only thing I can say is, when you're unclipping these from the body, just be really careful not to damage the wiring. It's very easy to damage the wiring. The main point with this job, okay, it's all pretty obvious what you need to do. The main thing with this job, I'll get a light. So you can see there's 3 bolts for the front DPF. There it is, there, the 3. All I can tell you for this job is to remove the heat shield, because what the heat shield does, it sits on the car like this, and this sits over that right stud at the top right, and there's another bolt that goes on behind it. So look for these bolts, remove them, and remove that. Also, the other tip, change the gasket. The other tip is the torque's all over the place with these. So, oh, sorry guys. See how shallow those nuts are? They're very shallow. Some of them are extremely tight. Extremely tight. So use the right tools, use new tools. You need a longer 17 socket to get past the stud, but that's obvious. What it is just take your time, lubricate everything, get that heat shield off, and behind that heat shield will be the 4th nut holding the heat shield on. So it's a longer stud holding the heat shield on. Anyway, sorry guys about the background noise. It's very difficult to make videos in the shop. So you can see there, see that longer stud? That one. And that's holding the heat shield on with another nut. So you don't want to be, fighting this thing. It's all pretty well designed. It just takes time and patience. You can see here, this is one of the clips, and they should have all been like that. But instead, what they do is they clip them on the body in these positions. So take photos of everything, lubricate your exhaust hangers, change all the gaskets if you can get them. There's a bit of a shortage of this one at the moment, but it's not a big deal if you reuse these ones. But that top one needs to be replaced. It's $34 in Australia. And this is the bracket for the actual, that's the bracket for the DPF that goes on down here. It's all pretty self-explanatory. But this heat shield and the tightness of those shallow nuts was crazy. So that top left one was actually not tight. It was loose. I was like, oh, did I loosen that? No. It wasn't tightened in Thailand properly. This is what happens when they make cars out of Japan. It's like you see all the different torques and all that. Wow, I wouldn't want to be changing this engine mount. Jesus. So these Ford Rangers and BT50s, they're all over the road getting absolutely thrashed to death. I cannot imagine the running costs of some of these cars. You can see here what that is. So yeah, the running costs of these cars. And I mean, this engine mount doesn't look like it would last long, but it has. Oh no, maybe it hasn't. So there's 2 parts of this mount. But yeah, anyway, I'm not going to start digressing, but I see them all over the road getting thrashed. We don't get that many of these in here, thank goodness for us. But gearbox failures, differential failures, all sorts of issues with the injection and the 5-cylinder diesel. And like, they look like they're a strong car. Structurally, they're very strong. But I am just dumbfounded at how people drive these things and what they are spending at Ford to keep these on the road. And again, like a broken record. Guys, don't buy a modern diesel in the city, because this is what you're going to get, and the dealers aren't going to clean it. Most of the dealers are going to replace these DPFs. From what I know, I don't know about Mazda and Ford, so don't quote me, but yeah. Sorry about the background noise, guys. That's the sort of tools we're using on the job. I got here a bit early and, you know, I had the thing out. You know, it doesn't take that long, but with all the mucking around and all the wiring and all the sensors and everything, it all piles up to 4 hours. And of course, you're going to have to do a regen to trigger the, you know, you've got to do a regen on the new DPFs to actually clear the whole car up and get it going again. This is the line that actually injects the diesel in for the regen. You might want to mark these two lines and not mix them up. I actually took photos of everything. That's the sort of modern way of doing it. And that's it. It's all up here. If you guys are going to run into trouble, it's going to be all up the top there. That's where it's all going to go wrong. Anyway, hope that helps, guys. Bye.